Programmatic at ViacomCBS right now is a number of different transaction types. So we're supporting private marketplace, programmatic guaranteed, and strategic, exchange partnerships with marketplace platforms, running across a primarily video-centric business across every single endpoint and platform that we distribute to.
So what about ad serving and CTV, and sort of what are the demands for ad serving?
Yeah, so ad serving right now in CTV, it's a highly complicated thing to pull off. I mean, when you think about adding the dimension of time to ad serving, in programmatic, the programmatic business obviously grew up in display where you didn't have that variable of time, which can be very unforgiving, right? When a user's watching a stream, you have to factor for a lot of things that happen with time. We don't want dead air. We don't want them, a user can also mess with time, fast forward, pause, rewind. All those things need to happen. And we're also trying to execute auctions and collect bids in real time. So all those things need to be able to happen and still deliver a TV quality ad experience, which is a complicated thing to do. And I think there's a lot of work that's been done over the last 18 to 24 months that I think has really improved our capability here to collect bids from our exchange and programmatic partners and stitch them into an ad pod. And that's really what, in a sentence, that's really what we're trying to do with ad serving. What happens behind the scenes is really a complicated feat.
So what does the future of the ad break look like? How is that developing, and what do you hope functionality will bring?
Sure. So right now, when we look at our ad break, we have there's several different environments we consider. There's VOD, on demand content, which is a fairly, it's an easier ad break for us to kind of talk about and figure out. It can ebb and flow like an accordion up and down with supply and demand. But live ad breaks, which is a huge part of our business, is another thing altogether. I mean, so we have, and then there's different shades of live, right? We have live TV that's being broadcast from our channels, whether it's MTV or CBS News, or Pluto. I mean, Pluto is also a live feed of several channels on a clock, users expecting to watch. The ad breaks there, we are serving programmatically into those. We are serving, it's a mix of programmatic and an IO reserve, kind of more traditionally sold demand. And so, as we think about those ad breaks, there's also the places where we have huge events like the Super Bowl, which just happened a few days ago, or the VMAs or the Kids' Choice Awards. And with that, our ad breaks are a little more sponsorship. They're sponsorship focused, and we're going to do it a little more the old-fashioned way, where we're actually stitching the pod on a more kind of more akin to what we do on the linear television business. So I see a place for both. I think they both need to coexist, and kind of everything in between as well.
So as you look at the programmatic marketplace for advanced TV, or the ecosystem, I should say, what are some things that you hope can improve this year, either on the buy side or the sell side?
Sure. So I think there are a couple things. So while this is obviously a very mature business and it's growing extremely fast, we've already hit a very material level of revenue in programmatic CTV. I think we're still in the early innings on a few things, like just the norms of transaction, I think alone are something that I think we could all do. We could all put some more work into getting a more standardized set of terms. I think when we're asked about programmatic from our partners, it still can mean 7 or 8 different things. It might be PG and PMP are pretty well understood. Sometimes advertisers are using PG, but it's really they're using programmatic ad tech as an ad server almost. Sometimes it's really advanced where clients are using an advanced API that they want to do some integration work with us. I think everything in between. And so for us to, I think, kind of align on a couple of those standard lanes, and then really engage on the important stuff, which is, what's the price and volume that we're going to be negotiating with buyers. I think it'll to be able to kind of coalesce around those lanes, I think will be a really productive step forward for us.
And finally, what about identity and using data to be more effective in targeting? We hear, of course, we've spoken a lot to your colleagues about addressable linear, which is another topic. But in terms of, identity and in terms of the work that you do, where is that going, and where do you hope the industry leads you?
Yeah, so identity is a very hot topic right now. It's coming up in pretty much every meeting we're having with our partners. I think in terms of need, there's certainly a need for us to have a ubiquitous privacy compliant identifier for us to trade and for the industry to really grow. I think the approach we're taking and where I think, we're hoping we see, several of our kind of the industry go is around harmonization. I think we ultimately need to harmonize around a common set of tools. And I think we're working with several folks on this and working with partners kind of with a lens towards getting to a place that, there's good signal across the entire footprint of places where we're serving advertising. We need that, steady signal of device ID and in a privacy safe way, obviously, for us to be able to continue to grow the connected TV addressable business.